like there might be a wee hobby that's trying to link in. There is a lady there and you're wearing a beautiful blue cardigan or something, or a wee jumper. Yes, a lovely cardigan. I'm hoping that you have a husband past, because there's a man there claiming you. So, may I work with you and see what we do, darling? Say hello to us.
Hello.
Hello. Would you understand your husband passed, darling?
Yeah.
Good, because he's standing there and he's just loving his stuff. Alright? And so, if you don't mind, I'm going to have a wee chat with you and let him have a, get this wee experience. And the first memories that I feel from your husband is he absolutely and utterly just loves every single part of you. And I feel like he's remembering you didn't really ever argue. You must remember you were pretty much calm with each other throughout your life. So would you agree to that?
Yeah.
You know, because he showed me here that these weren't really, these were like two wee lovebirds right up to the very damn days. You know, and he's remembering he loved giving you kisses and he loved holding your hand but he let you take the kitchen on, by the way. You know, he was one of them, you know, you would nearly say to him, and he knew his place, you just go in there and sit down. And it's not that he didn't want to help out, but he feels here that that was your territory. So I feel, do you get me?
Yes.
You know, because he's just saying, oh, I was fed well and she looked after me good. And he remembers here that it wasn't just you, everybody in the family loved to take care of him, you see. And he was, see, as long as he had you and the kids, he was a happy man.
Right.
You know, and of course he would have had friends and people, but he didn't really go out that often. There's like this real sense with him of just regular routine. You knew the kind of programs that he loved, because he loved his TV, you see. This is what he showed me, and he feels here that because he was your soulmate and somebody that you leaned into so much, and vice versa, he knows you're really, really missing him, and you're having a real tough time of it at the minute.
Very
And
tough.
that's why he wants to connect in immediately. It's just, you go to my wife and you tell her, we were like that and we are, we sweethearts. And he remembers he swept you off your feet, by the way. You know, so you must have been together decades upon decades.
61 years.
There we go. So a long time. Can I just say, I nearly feel like I want to puke here because of the romance he's trying to get to you. You know, he's nearly like, me and her, we just love each other and I don't need to go out and me and her, we just sit and watch our wee programs. Is there any memories of doing like crosswords or puzzles and things?
You don't know all
Because
the time.
I feel like I have the paper in front of me and I just know I'm calling out to you and you're like, what is it? And he says sometimes you're here, it's a wee bit off.
When you want to.
But he's a gentleman and he's a wee gentle soul. You know, it says that he hasn't got a bad bone in his body. He is just as soft as they come. So do you get me?
That's true.
I know,
Very
I can
true.
feel it from him in the way that he's trying to give you the experience of his character.
Yeah.
And he wants to let you know that he has made it and that he's okay and that he is around you. And he just went, she wore this cardigan for me tonight. So he must have, did he love blue on you?
That's the last thing he said to me before he died. He says, I like you in blue.
No wonder. You're his lady in blue. Alright? He knew he was Dan. He knew he was Dan. You know, and everybody knew that he was Dan. And he's saying, but you never left his side. Never left his side.
Never.
And even through the night, your wee sleep patterns and all were up and down because you did not want to go asleep in case he died without you being there.
I sat in the stairs and he thought I was in bed.
Yeah.
Because he was in the bed down the stairs and I was sitting on the stairs.
Yeah, but you stayed awake because you just thought, I am not going to go to sleep in case he takes his last breath and I have to be there. And you were there, and I want to say that. And he says, and she kissed the face off me still. And he says that she held my hand and we just sat and held hands, but it broke the family's heart a wee bit and watching you and watching him, and because they could see you were so bonded in life, and you still are, like that is going to be eternal. And he feels that, you know, you've obviously come through other losses in your life, you know, beyond your partner, and he knows that, and he's just saying, but this is a completely different level for you, you know, and he says, I'm giving you strength, love, I'm giving you strength. Did he ever do anything with the post service?
No.
Then don't tell me for just
Well, he
recent.
did. He'd done, he wasn't a postman or
Right.
anything, but he'd done postman for the children at Christmas up at the church.
Okay, I was just going to say, let me just explore, but you've told the story. Alright? come through so many other losses and different heartaches. He feels that, you know, you've just decided you just gotta live life, and you just gotta take on whatever life is in front of you, and you just try to live a day at a time, and you don't try to jump too far ahead. And you're very much one of them women, I hope you agree to this, of whatever God has intended for you, you'll just accept, because He feels you're of spiritual nature in that way, and of great faith, and I feel like you do believe, and you have had experiences, and you have had dreams, and I think you've had the odd wee premonition over periods of time, you know, so you're a wee bit tuned in yourself in that way. So would you get that?
Sometimes, yeah.
That's it. So please know that He's aware of that, and He's saying, but He isn't ready for you yet, you see, of course. So He still wants you to enjoy the time that you do have, and I feel like that's what you do anyway. I know. So to my lady in blue, please take your darling's love and know that your wee hubby is very, very much there for you. Thank you so much.
You got a lovely wee connection tonight from your husband with Angela. Did you really relate?
Yes, I related to it all, yeah. Everything she said, even about the postman. And he wasn't a postman, but he did do postman for the children, you know, up at the church. And everything else she said was spot on, like.
And she really described his personality. He was a very gentle soul. And she said you just were together many, many decades.
Yeah, we were 61 years together.
And she said you were like soulmates.
Yeah, and she said about him sitting at the table doing his crosswords, and that is exactly what he did. And he did watch films, like this black and white films, you know, like
and would you come back to one of our wee shows again,
certainly
Rena?
would.
Did the wee connection give you a wee bit of peace, Rena?
Absolutely.
Help you? Yeah. And you know your wee hubby give you a bit of strength and spirit.
Absolutely, and it's just what I needed.
Yeah.
And he only passed 12 weeks ago.
I don't believe it. 12 weeks
The
ago.
9th of July.
Oh, so that's why you were struggling. You just needed that connection
Absolutely
tonight.
struggling.
That's good. Thank you, Rena.
Thank
You
you.
take it easy. See you later. See you again. Hopefully at the show. Thank you.